making the invisible visible. Black women, 365 days of the year. Each day will spotlight a remarkable woman whose story has shaped Black, British or global diasporic history. Women whose achievements are too often overlooked. Through these daily short films, we create a living, breathing archive of leadership, creativity, resistance and legacy. Let's begin.
Hi, I'm Leonisha Barley. I am a producer at 20 Stories High Theatre Company here in Liverpool, and alongside that I do some freelance creative work in acting and creative writing, especially spoken word poetry. I started off my journey as a primary school teacher, so I really enjoy using those skills to create and facilitate creative writing workshops. Recently I applied for a grant and started a creative writing group for global majority writers in Liverpool called The Gathering Pen. We spent 12 weeks together and we got to do some writing prompts and work on our own personal writing. And then we had a big sharing event for the community, which was lovely and cozy. And we created our own anthology with all our different writing together. So that was really, really beautiful. And overall, I think I would describe myself as a proud Sierra Leonean Scouse creative. On a day-to-day basis, my job as a creative producer looks like liaising with the creative team. That could be on a community project or a full production that we're working on, and that usually involves creating a timeline and schedules to keep the process moving along whilst also trying to stay within budget. Overall, I would say it involves having a process that is as smooth as possible to take an idea to an end product, and for us that usually involves some kind of performance for a community. I would say my favourite part of the job is the most personable aspect of it. So getting to interact with the participants and seeing the journey that they go on to create and become an artist within themselves. I myself started as a participant of 20 Stories High's Actors Training Programme, and I just love that now I'm able to be in the position to help others develop themselves as creative individuals in similar programmes. So it really feels like a lovely full circle moment for me. In 2023, I became unemployed after COVID hit, but I've always had creative passions, so I decided to divert during that time. I took up opportunities in the creative field, such as 20 Stories High's Actors Training Programmes, Writing on the Walls, Right to Work initiative and their Spoken Word Power Programme, as well as Everyman and Playhouse's Young Writers Group. Being part of these groups and really taking up those opportunities were significant for me and have really shaped where I am today, because they showed me how I could bring together my teaching skills and my creative passions. So now I'm able to walk through and move through the creative industry with confidence and help others do the same. Something you may not see at first glance or realise about me is that representation is a big value of mine. I believe it's difficult to become what you can't see. Therefore, I work to put myself in positions where I can act as a positive representation for Black people who might have passions that differ from the expected or similar passions to myself. Therefore, at university, I was part of the horse riding club. Part of the reason why I wanted to become a primary school teacher is because I never had a Black teacher growing up here in Liverpool, and I think that type of representation really matters. I also am now one of the few Black female producers in Liverpool, which is really good. And I love telling stories of the second generation female Scouse neurodivergent person in the world, and think those type of stories really do need to be put on stage. Even in my style, I make a conscious effort to wear bright colours or coordinate or wear something that represents a part of my culture. And then I frequently switch up my hairstyles just to sprinkle in a bit of Black girl magic in the workplace, okay? Why? Because I believe representation really does matter, and making the invisible Black woman visible is essential and is a type of activism. So The ways in which I hold on to joy and keep momentum during difficult times are by talking to others. So that could be friends, family, colleagues, a therapist, because it always helps me knowing that there's someone else going through a similar situation or somebody that can help me solve it. I also bring back joy through physical movement, so that could be going for a walk or going to the gym, listening to music or going to a dance class. That always really helps. Lastly, I would say doing something creative with my hands and using that energy always helps. That could look like painting or doing makeup, face painting even, clay sculpting or hair braiding.
Thank you for joining us for today's story. Making the Invisible Visible is our commitment to ensuring that Black women's histories and contributions are recognised, valued and kept in daily circulation. Across 2026, we will continue to share these powerful narratives, 365 days of impact, brilliance and inspiration. Stay connected, join the conversation and help us champion the women whose journeys continue to shape our world. I'm Paulette Brooks, and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for the next story.